We're good. All right. My name is Chase Granat. I'm here with Matt Feddermann. This is for 8K 380 Arts Entrepreneurship, and then we'll just get the interview rolling. Matt, you want to tell about yourself?
Sure. My name is Matt Feddermann. I am a musician, music producer, audio engineer. I've been working in the business for almost 15 years in various capacities at various studios. I've written, tons of music and songs for everything from CD releases to TV, film, all that kind of stuff. And I've been in the professional audio recording business since 2004 is when I opened my first studio after leaving working at other studios. And
where was that studio? Because this is a new location.
Correct.
From what I know.
Correct. My original location was it's in Highland Park at on Old Skokie Valley Road. And it was a professionally built studio. It was built in 1994, and it used to be called Highland Park Recording Studios. They went out of business in 2003. I took the space that was already built out in 2004, and kind of just picked up the gauntlet what they let down, and I owned that from 2004 to 2012.
When you were there, was like location ever an issue? Was like more business or just like
location was great because it was in an industrial area, so we didn't bother anybody, and it was right off the expressway, so bands and clients could get right on and off the expressway. So it was a perfect location.
Okay. Let's just go back a little bit. When you first started, how did you really start from like just the ground up? Did you have all your own equipment bought?
No, I had collected because as a musician, my first bad experience as a musician in the studio taught me that anything worth doing, don't trust somebody else with your music. Trust yourself. So I went out and started learning how to engineer. Went to college for it, and just kind of collected stuff over the years, just pieces of gear. And when that studio went out of business, and I heard the space was open, at a family dinner, I told my family, I'm going to open a recording studio, and I'm going to go get a loan from the bank and go do it. And my dad said, "Why go get a loan at the bank? You're going to pay a bunch of interest on it. Right. Get a loan from me."
Is that how you got the loan first?
So I got a $15,000, which is nothing.
Right. Okay.
$15,000 loan to buy, the remaining pieces of gear I needed, and then pay rent, and then that was that. And I took a 1-year lease, and just went for it, and it worked. It lasted from 2004 to 2012.
Here you are.
And then in 2012, with the changing landscape of the music business, and people just not buying as much music. The niche that my level of studio filled, which is not the big multi-billion-dollar Chicago studios, right, versus a basement-like home little system. There used to be a niche there for that, but as technology got cheaper, people stopped spending money on music. Bands stopped spending money on recording, and they'd rather spend $1,200 on a iMac with GarageBand than spend $1,200 in a studio. So my lease was up that year in 2012, and I decided to close, and I built a studio above my garage and kept a bunch of the really choice gear and just started working out of the house. And it's been about 2 years. So
you have been working in the house. Did you ever consider wishing to expand yourself? Do you want to stay in this? Again, it's more about location. Do you want to stay here?
No, eventually I kind of was using the house as a lifeboat. Okay. Knew I needed to close the business because the time was right. But didn't know what the next move was going to be, and didn't know what direction the music business was going, or what a good new business model would be. Because the traditional model of, sell hourly blocks of time as your business, as your revenue generator, it's kind of a dead business concept.
Okay, didn't think that.
So it's more of a service-based business. It's okay if I'm going to spend dollars and cents with me as a producer or engineer. What do I bring to the table? What skill set can I bring to the table that competitors can't or don't?
Right. That's what
so that's kind of why I built at the house. I've only got a mortgage to pay, so it's no extra money, and I can kind of just study the business and see what works and what doesn't, and experiment on some new concepts. And that's basically what I've been doing for 2 years.
All right. If you've been doing it for 2 years, how would you see yourself in the next? As you said, the music business is always changing. You're working by yourself for right now. How do you think it's going to be in, I would say, 5 to 10 years?
The music business or my business?
Let's go. Let's go with your business right now.
With my business,
has there been upfalls, downfalls?
My 10-year goal is, I think it's going to evolve from just recording and production to I'd like to see my business expand into live events, live shows. I'd like to have a physical space that I can be
Okay.
doing everything from.
You're in collaboration with like the Shed, right?
Correct.
I heard about that. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know a little background about that?
Sure. The Shed is a club in Highland Park that was opened by a guy named Jim Schiffman. He opened it 2.5 years ago as a musicians club, like you would go to a country club for tennis or golf. He wanted it to be like a private musicians club where you go and collaborate and jam and rehearse and record. And I kind of have been an advisor off and on for him for a while.
Okay.
And a couple of months ago, actually a month and a half ago, he came to me, remodeled his place, hired me to revamp his sound system. He built a bar, and he basically got into exactly where I saw my business going in the next couple of years. Except he, had financial backing and the space to do it. So we're kind of working together on the project, where it's literally a place you can rehearse, record, see a show, music clinics, classes, and we're starting to get into video production, and we're installing, HD TV cameras, and we're going to start doing like TV shows and live radio shows, and it's basically a sound stage, recording, rehearsal, music thing, and it's less of a private club, and it's more like a music social club, where you don't just have to play music to enjoy it. You can go listen to music and learn about different things. Okay. General public can get involved.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's exciting.
Where's that X? I want to check that out myself.
Yeah, it's in Highland Park. It's right behind where my old studio used to be. There's an industrial park right behind it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check that out. I guess we are closing up. It's been quick. I would say any lasting advice for other people for where you got just new people.
New people getting into my business, or not my business, the music business. They need to be really careful about how they go about it. I mean, when I went to school for this in 1995, 96,
much different now.
It's a different environment. I mean, when I went to school, there were 3 schools in the country that offered degrees in audio production. Now, I mean, Southern Illinois University offers one.
I'm taking one right now.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of audio programs. The issue is the audio programs, I mean, schools are churning out new audio engineers by the boatload into a shrinking job market.
Saturated.
It's oversaturated. So my advice to people is take video classes, take production classes, not just audio 101, audio engineering classes, because there's just no jobs unless you open your own facility. I mean, you've got to be a real go-getter, a real self-starter to make it in just the audio world. I see jobs left and right for video production people because we live in a visual world. The internet's visual. People don't share MP3s on Facebook. They share videos on Facebook socially. I mean, that's how people interact. So get into video from day one. Otherwise, it's going to be a really hard business. End up having a day job to support your audio habit. I got in. I was kind of the last group of guys to get in. I mean, even I got into the game a little bit late, but it was hard, and it's even harder now. It's really hard because people, anyone can buy Pro Tools.
Yeah, right.
Anyone can buy a microphone. I've said this to other people before. When I had my studio, and I'd say, man, put a home recording guy in my studio, and I'll go to their home studio. I've got hundreds of thousands of dollars of expensive stuff, $5,000 microphones, $3,000 compressors, and they've got an M-Box with a Behringer board. I guarantee, because I have more experience, I can make me on their gear sound better than them on my gear. Just because, education, experience, and knowing how to use the stuff. Not just because you can buy it, it doesn't matter. You know how to use it correctly. So, hope that covered it.
Any last shout-outs you want to do for yourself? Just hanging out?
Just hanging out, doing some stuff earlier.
Well, appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem,
you very much. And that's what it is.
Enjoy.